pleasure talking to Richie Hearn and Michael Thompson. Now, Michael, I know you go by Michael on the iRacing server, but do you prefer Mike?
Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Alrighty, I'll do Michael so I can be Mike. All right, so I want to talk about the team first a little bit. So we went from Upper Channel One, and then we switched to Elite West. So what was the purpose of the team name change?
Well, the Upper Channel One originally came from where I work. I work at the Corvette driving school here in Las Vegas, and our Upper Channel One is what we call the fastest group. So I had a little league, my own league going on, and that was the name of the league. So we just went with that, but figured that it didn't really make any sense to anybody else. So Michael and I came up with something else just to kind of represent the West Coast here.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't. I was wondering if the West and the Elite West had to do with the club or just from the general location.
We're all in. Mike's in Phoenix, and and then Tom and Brian and Brandon, and we're all in Las Vegas. I work with those other three guys.
Oh, you're kidding me! That was going to be one of my questions. Was how did you meet up with your new addition teammates this year? And so obviously you've known them for a while.
Yeah, I mean, Mike and I met online through another friend, and he joined our league, and then we became pretty good friends. And I've hung out with him a couple times in Phoenix, and then like I said, the other three guys I've known for a while. They all work with me at the Ron Fellows, the Corvette school there, so they're all instructors as well.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Okay, well that answers one of my questions from later on. Now, last year as a team, you just had three of you on Upper Channel One, and you still finished sixth, I believe, in the overall constructors. And this year, obviously, it's a lot closer. Was the team title something that was a focus for you, and how you went about constructing the team, or was it more of a secondary thing?
Yeah, and I don't want to talk all for Mike, but I think for us the team thing is more important. At least for me, I'm really into the team concept of it. So sure, I want to win personally, and Mike's in third now, so that's awesome. And but really, I'm more about getting everybody together and trying to score points for the team, and just trying to have more fun as a group.
Yeah, I feel the same way. My main interest in racing, like as a spectator, is Formula One, and the constructor battle between the teams is a huge part of that. That's kind of one of my favorite aspects of that sport.
Totally. Yeah, it's funny because I grew up a NASCAR fan, and I've almost completely stopped watching NASCAR, and now I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday to watch Formula One. What the hell's wrong with me? But anyway, so I'm with you. That's cool.
And the way the teams, you know, play nice with each other or not, it makes some interesting stories unfold throughout the season. And
Oh, absolutely. I'm all in. Now, as far as like individually, Richie, you already mentioned that Michael's third overall, which is awesome, and you're now in the top 10, so you're both locked in for the next race. So that's kind of cool. Your other three guys, Brian, Thomas, and Brandon, it seems like they're maybe a little more hit and miss with regard to race attendance, or like Thomas seems to be more of an oval guy. Tell me a little bit about your teammates.
Yeah, some of it's just personal things have gotten in the way of some of them, just out of town type of thing. Tom is very much an oval guy. Tom and he just, I don't know, he doesn't practice enough on the road course, so I give him a hard time about that. But he's all about the ovals, and and Brandon, he's more the road course guy. He doesn't have a lot of oval experience, and then Brian's got a little bit of both, and it's really just kind of, I think as we go through the year, they'll get a little more into it. Like Mike and I are really, this is pretty much my only hobby, and this is all I focus on. And I think as we go through the year and going into next year, they'll get a little bit more involved. I don't think they realize the amount of involvement it took to run every race, practice. I take days off of work just for these race weekends because I don't want to miss any of them.
That's awesome. Yeah. It is interesting to see the dynamic of the new players and how they fit in, right? Now, the two of you ran virtually every race last year. You may have missed one each. These three new guys are brand new. Now, I'm not trying to rub salt in anybody's wounds, but neither one of you has a win yet. I know that's something that you're looking forward to. But Thomas comes out and wins his very first race. Did he give you any hard time about that?
I tell you what, I was as shocked as anybody because like I said, we had our own little league going, and that guy couldn't finish a 20 lap race to save his life. And then here he comes, and he was focused. He grew up racing that type of stuff, like super lates and like legend cars on the ovals out here at Las Vegas. So that was like right up his alley, and he just got into it. And he was into Daytona and just got caught up in a wreck. And he just, he's getting into it a little bit more. And I don't think the three of them had really done any long races like we have, like the 600, or just even Sebring and stuff. That how long it takes, the pit stop practice and all that stuff. And so they're kind of slowly kind of realizing that this takes a lot more than just kind of jumping online once in a while.
Yeah, not pickup races for sure. So heading into the season, you built a new team, and I know everybody sort of noticed that you guys were there. You're now second in the constructors, I believe. No, third, with Riding Shotgun having an awesome race last week. But the team battle is super close right now, which is really fun. Before the season started, did you guys have a goal for the team and for yourselves individually?
Um, Honestly, my main goal going into it was just to try to make every pro split because the points are so much higher. And I've I've been kind of surprised that all of us have made the pro split because the competition is so close.
Yeah, Mike's being a little easy on himself. He's gotten a lot better and a lot of practice, and he's the fastest guy at our last race. But for me personally, when we finished last year in October, my only goal was to win that team championship and knock those Alliance guys off, and just more friendly competition. But that was all I focused on and getting these guys together. That's all I talk about. I do all the long runs for them. I do all the fuel calculations. I do all that stuff and kind of set it up so that because and like Tom winning that the first race, I didn't care that I didn't, but that he won. Michael finished top 5. I don't remember what it was, but we got took the lead, and that's really my focus.
Awesome. So no personal goals as far as what place you finish in or anything like that. Do you have a goal to win a particular race, anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to win personally, but if I get to the point where it's either win or crash, I'm going to think a little bit more about the team. But yeah, the Indy 500 coming up obviously would be my favorite race to win. I'd like to win a race, but I kind of set my goals to start with, just get in the top 5, and then just kind of see how it plays out from then. It's not all or nothing for me. It's just like I say, it's the team is a big focus of my energy.
How about you, Mike?
Oh yeah, I'd like to win every race, but same thing. If I'm sitting in a good points position, I might not take as much of a risk. Yeah, I don't want to crash out and lose those points.
Yeah, I would say that comes through in the broadcast for both of you guys. Actually, it seems like you're very measured in how you advance through the field, and honestly, I think that serves you well long term. So it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, the first part is to actually make it to the end.
100%. And Richie said that if he could win one race, it would be the 500 coming up. Do you have a particular race you would want to win, Michael? If obviously you'd take any of them, but anything that stands out?
Yeah, I always want to do really well in the Formula One races.
Awesome. We have Spa this year, so that's cool. All right. Just looking through my questions. So, Michael, you mentioned that you enjoy Formula One the most. Richie, do you have a particular type of racing that you watch more than any other, or do you watch racing at all?
Oh yeah, that's the only reason why I pay my cable company the bill, because so I can watch the races. Otherwise, I wouldn't. But yeah, I'm big Indy. I like Indy cars. I don't, because I've been involved in it so long. I don't watch it that much. To tell you the truth, I probably spend most of my energy on Formula One, just like you guys. But to tell you the truth, I probably spend more energy watching MotoGP and like Supercross. I actually kind of find that type of racing more exciting. I know all the characters and stuff, but I watch it all. Le Mans, Daytona 24 Hours, the random NASCAR race here and there, but that's pretty much all that's on at my house.
10-4, very cool. You mentioned that the West thing wasn't necessarily club related, although you all 5 are from the West Club. I know, Michael, you've dipped your toe into it before, but any thoughts about coordinating those guys for making Club West something to be reckoned with as far as like the World Cup is concerned. Since I know both of you run all types of cars and tracks, and really that's what the World Cup is about too.
I would like to do it. Mike's always asking me. Really, it just comes down to the time. I put so much energy into these races that, I got other, obviously, family life and stuff to deal with. And hopefully this year I'm going to try to get involved, a little bit more involved in that and do some of them. And it would be fun. It just comes down to just the amount of time I have.
Totally understand. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, this last one, I just happened to misread the message that came through for race time. It was Eastern time. But yeah, I always get on the West forum and, try to look for the upcoming, who's going to participate. And while ago we had like an IndyCar race and a NASCAR race. So I was trying to organize practices and, getting setups out to everybody, but there only, I think 3 of us showed up to actually do the race.
Yeah, it is so tough to get organized until it happens, and then it just sort of runs itself, which is I don't know how you get to that threshold, but I would love to see you guys do it because there's a lot of talent in that club, for sure, just even on your team alone. But with Robbie Gall and other guys even in this series, in the West Club, David Williams not in the series anymore, but obviously really good driver. So that would be cool to see. It's sort of a shameless plug on my part, but would love to see that. One of the last questions that I have for you guys is: do you have or have you had any sort of racing heroes growing up or even currently, and why?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I don't know about any heroes. Following Formula One, I've always liked Kimi Räikkönen. I like his attitude or lack of attitude, and having like Finnish people in my family, get a connection there. And yeah, that's about it, really.
Yeah, for me, my first, Mario Andretti's always been my hero, and I've been fortunate enough to know him, and he actually signed off my rookie ticket when I did my first rookie test for IndyCar. And but after that, Ayrton Senna's by far, I think, the greatest driver of all time. And my real helmet is painted yellow just because of his. And you'll see in the race coming up, my helmet is painted just like his helmet. And he's always been someone I've always kind of, I just think he's the greatest all time, and it's too bad he didn't get to continue on, but that's always been my hero.
Yeah, I'd agree with that about Senna. I also liked Prost, kind of almost equally as much. The whole rivalry is a huge, really cool thing to rewatch over and over again.
Yeah, he was a whiner though.
I love it. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll be honest with the Mario. I was wondering if Mario Andretti wasn't in your lineup there, but I was surprised, and it seems how gracious he is and how accessible he is. Yeah, when I reached out to him last year, it was like nothing, and he was like, "Yeah, absolutely, you guys can use my name for this series." So anyway, pretty cool. All
yeah,
right.
I'll say to him that guy is one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. I raced against Michael and stuff, and they're not quite the same as he is personality wise, but Mario is just a really cool guy. And when I was younger, you meet him, he's this guy, this, that, and you think he's unapproachable, but he's definitely not. And he's just kind of an average guy that can drive the crap out of any car. So that's cool that you got that from him, and it really makes this kind of championship even more fun.
It was shocking to me, honestly. I was just kind of throwing it out there, and anyway, I loved it. So, last thing, I did have one other question. Sorry. Anything that you would change or add, to the series that we do?
Me personally, honestly, Mike, you do absolute. I don't know how you do it, because I know you got family life as well, and because I ran my own little league, and I was just too much work for me, and it wasn't anywhere near this, but I love it. I love all different cars. I really hated Brands Hatch, but I did it. I finished well, and whatever you put out there, just got to do it. And that's what makes the championship good. I wouldn't be happy if it was all one thing. And I honestly, I don't have any criticism or anything. So I might have something different, but I love it all.
No, I agree. It's like this league is the main thing that I focus on for iRacing and my whole time online. Sometimes I think that, maybe I don't like the fast repair, but I do want to see all those cars at the end of the race. So, I use the fast repair too. So, yeah, no real criticisms.
And see, he said, some people can criticize the fast repair. I actually enjoy the one fast repair because things happen. This isn't real life. You got net code, things like that. And, the amount of hours you put into practicing on this stuff, it really sucks to be wadded up because there's something random. And that's just the internet we deal with. So I don't think it's unfair that we have one. And it really comes down to a little bit of strategy. Twice this year, I've used it too early, and then I screwed myself at the end. So it's just another kind of facet that we get to play with.
Totally cool. Well, every year we do a member survey at the midway point. So after Indy, we will have a member survey goes out, and so any feedback that you have, good, bad, indifferent, ideas, etc., will be welcome at that point. Certainly, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I wish you the best of luck the rest of the year. I really hope that we keep the team title race really close. I know you guys would probably like to run away with it, but I'd love to see it go down to the wire.
Yeah, no, it's more fun that it goes down the wire. I mean, I'm kind of cool that even though we closed the gap to Alliance, but it's cool to see. I think it's riding shotgun one or whatever. That's it just kind of throws everything off a little bit and lets you focus on something else. And because I look at where those guys are in the race and where those guys are qualifying and really kind of hopefully the broadcasters will kind of get a little involved in that too. And they did the last time because it is a big effort that we put together as far as getting together, practicing together, talking together. And so, yeah, it'll be good. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your guys' time tonight. If there's anything I missed, anything else you want to kind of throw out there, now's the time.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I think the broadcasts are really good in both splits.
Yeah, I watch them all. I send them all out to all my friends, all my Facebook buddies, and I watch them all. I actually go back and watch last year's races to try to get better. But yeah, those guys really do an awesome job, and hopefully they hear this. And I enjoy getting on their thing at the end to do a little interview. I know Joe digs that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys do an awesome job. So lucky to have GSRC on board. All right, dudes. Well, I appreciate the time, and I won't keep you any longer from your night, but we'll see you on the track, all right?
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for everything you do. And the other Michael, I will just talk to you later.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Night, guys.